Come on, webcam. You can do it. There you go. You see? What's up? We're doing some of this. Not Terry's Gauntlet, although I do miss it. Believe me, I've lost an awful lot of motivation from not having that series to fall back on. It's just nice when you have a clearly defined goal, although it's nice to be able to appreciate, just having a battle, having a laugh. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do, and basically I'm just using a few of the guys that I've read over the course of the Gauntlet. So I'll show you my team, I'll show you a few of the disappointments I had and why I'm bringing them. Anyway, I'm bringing Hippowdon. He wasn't a disappointment, he was bleeding fantastic, but I kind of wanted to see how we do in a 6v6 setting, and the answer is, I thought he was good. He put in a nice shift, and he is a lot better when, there are a lot more threats for him to deal with. Like, say, part of the problem with trying to use a tank or a wall in a battle spot is it's luck of the draw. The dude might bring 3 special guys, and then Hippowdon is up shit creek with no paddle big enough to paddle his ass to freedom. Next one, biggest disappointment out of everything. Like, you might say, this guy, but he wasn't the biggest disappointment because I knew he would be shit. I didn't know how shit he would be until we got to that point, but I knew he'd be shit. And he was. He was fantastically awful in every single way. Fuck you, Darmanitan, you miserable pile of crusty seamen. But yeah, Scrafty was the biggest disappointment. I did not get along with him at all when we were using him. He just didn't work in the slightest, so I wanted to see how we do in a 6v6 setting, because I have tried Assault Vest Scrafty before, a while ago, but I have tried him, and I liked him. I don't know what it was, but the 3v3 setting just did not work for the chavvy bastard, so they're going to give him another shake. Swanna, because I don't really have a Pelipper, and it's sort of like, Swanna works really well here with the Hippo Meister, and I thought, meh, let's give him a go, It's been a while since I've used Swanna, and to be fair, I do quite like it. It does work fairly well, I cannot complain. Swanna, when I tried using him in the tournament, Swanna did alright. So, that's a thing. Bringing on Ferris Lag, it's been a while, Ferris Lag is Ferris Lag, but Ferris Lag's just good. You can't really go wrong with the old Ferris Lag. What am I doing? I want it that way. Yeah, it's getting slightly better. So, yeah, can't really go wrong with Ferro, and, it's just nice. I used to hate it a lot. I look at it now, and I think, you and me are okay right now, Ferris Lag. They're a bigger fish to fry than you. You spiky bollock. Eject button Slowbro wasn't really disappointing. It just didn't really do anything. Again, it's another problem with the whole tank in a 3v3 setting. Sometimes it can work if you have a dedicated tank team made to sort of do shit. Like if you have a triple core of 3 guys that you just sort of rotate around to bring in every battle, then fine. But just sort of having a tank shoved on the end of 2 offensive dudes. I mean, the eject button Slowbro did kind of do what I wanted it to do. It just gave my guys a free switch, and maybe Slowbro could come in and do something a bit more productive later on. But ultimately, in a 3v3 setting, not especially useful. So I wanted to see if it had a little bit more sort of charm and guts in a 6v6, which it should do, because the potential for tanking hits to bring in, to pivot some other guys in, should help it a lot more. Last thing, sub Trick Room Trev. Wasn't bad, just never quite built up enough steam to sort of be good in a 3v3 setting. Again, it's the luck of the draw, and it's kind of like, your opponent could just bring a load of really quick dudes and fuck Trev before he can, get cracking. So, wanting to see if he'd fare a little bit better in 6v6, where you can kind of plan around and you can at least sort of pick your moment to set Trev up, a little better. You're not on a massive countdown. You don't need a pivotal sweeper to sort of win the game. It's just you can bide your time a bit more. So maybe, a few more of these guys and do a lot better in a 6v6. Most Pokemon kind of tend to. 3v3 does limit what you can do, although, let's face it, there's a tank that we know is always going to be good. God bless you, ments. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I kind of derped a little bit. Cooper gave me the Beedrill, and I was like, it was level 14 when he gave it to me, and I was like, oh, he's already EV'd it, he's so nice. So I leveled it up, and I was like, oh, balls, I've completely fucked that one up, haven't I? So I think I've probably got something in the region of like a max HP and like, I don't know, 100 attack Beedrill from Teddy Ursa's, so yeah, might need to go get one of them EV doofer soup, whatever the fuck they are. Although, Sod's Law predicts I probably don't have the berries for it. But, yeah, we'll muddle through. Just wanted to point out that I derped. Because I was watching some LP and I was like, I'll go level that guy up. And then I did it and I was like, no, I'm an idiot. So there you go. No, it wasn't Cooper's fault. It was me, like, expecting far too much. It's just like, why would he's already given you a 6 IV shiny Beedrill. Don't go too mad. Anyway, I did have a couple of battles. First one I thought was quite good. Getting the second one was interesting. I swear to God, I remember why I don't particularly like battling on DS. Passerbys are cunts. Like, really, Game Freak, just implement a fucking 6v6 system. You've got it right there. All you need to do is go off and make a fucking lobby. No, what have you done? No! Why is this a thing that's here? There we go. Right, that was the second one. That was a weird one. We'll get to that. Here's the first one. As you see, cunt face brought an Aegislash. Turns out, didn't matter too much. Anyway, it was a fairly interesting team. Got some cool stuff in there. He actually had a couple of pretty cool sets. The Barbarical, fairly nifty. Don't see Barbarical used often enough, and it's still quite surprising that it is NU. However, I do expect Barbarical to get a little bit more usage, because I'm fairly certain a few move tutor moves gonna pack that fucker right up, especially, was it Tough Claw's Ice Punch? That should be interesting. Anyway, let's get cracking, shall we? Yeah. Let's go. Anyway, man, battle against some dude called Ryan. I figured I'd get off with Scrafty. It's gonna tank, well, I presumed the Clawvitzer, because I had him held on in the lead spot. So I figured Clawvitzer, pretty good thing. But he goes for his Scald, worried about the burn. Fortunately, he didn't get it, so I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch, get a bit of health back, and I'm looking pretty tasty. Scrafty, doing alright. A lot of HP back. Then he goes for an Aura Sphere. Unfortunately, I go Power Up Punch. I don't know why I went Power Up Punch, but I did. Had I gone Drain Punch, I then could have gotten enough HP back, I think, to just barely live another one. Maybe. And in fact, that does come into play later on. You'll see that. Anyway, I don't want to get fucked by another Aura Sphere, so I'm going to go use my eject button. It's there, it's free, and it just gives me a perfect opportunity to go into Slowbro, and then pivot. And then I can go into whatever I want. And, you know, just saves a bit of damage on some of the other dudes. Perhaps it's more picking the use of eject button that I should get better at. Maybe it comes down to player skill. But, you know, it did what it was supposed to do. Anyway, I pivot into a Swanna because I should outspeed it. It's not scarfed, and Swanna's fairly quick, and a Hurricane should make good work of it. Unfortunately, he goes into Barbarical. I do get a crit. It was okay. Didn't do too badly. Anyway, I'm going to go into Pharaoh because I don't really want to get owned by Barbarical. He's going to go for a Smash, and I do remember at this point that he does have Tough Claws boosted, Cross Chop, to play around with. So, fucking worried there. However, very, very, very fortunately, he is only packing the EQ. I guess it's a trade-off, and he picked EQ for the accuracy, and you get different coverage, so... I don't know. I don't know if I agreed with it, but he had it. He's got, I'm assuming he's got Razor Shell, Rock Slide, and EQ. Unfortunately, fucking Pharaoh doesn't even kill with a Gyro Ball. That was disappointing. The fucker's at +2 speed. You couldn't even have it with a Gyro Ball. You should be ashamed, Pharaoh. It was right there. You just took a bit of extra damage. I have no idea why he went Rock Slide. I can't quite figure that one out myself. But anyway, in comes Clefable. I can see the flamethrower from a fucking mile away. It seems pretty obvious to me. So I'm gonna go into my Slowbro. Mainly because I figured I can yawn it, and maybe I can kind of slow it down a little bit. As it turns out, Fable, like it always does, is gonna be the thorn in my bollocks. He's going to go for a Thunderbolt. Slowbro gets crapped on by that. Not pleased. And I'm going to go for a Yawn. Because I can, I suppose. Now here, he makes an amazing play, or a completely lucky bastard. Again, like my Scrafty play, this one comes back to bite me in the bollocks. I don't know why I went Psychic. I suppose Psyshock was also a thing I could have done that time. But really should have just gone Scald. He was going to either switch out or stay in. The only reason I wouldn't go Scald is in case I got a burn, which means that his Clefable wouldn't be asleep, which would suck. But anyway, I don't keep Slowbro because it's not really wise. Again, the whole point of the thing is to just tank damage. But I'm gonna go into the Hippo, and for some bizarre fucking reason, he's gonna go into Aegislash. I have no bloody idea why he does that, but this is even more bizarre. He's Weakness Policy, that's grand, but for some reason, he's gonna go for an SD. And I'm like, one, how the fuck did Hippowdon just outspeed you? That makes dick all sense. Two, why would you bother SDing on a physical wall? I guess he thought he would outspeed so he could go for an Iron Head and then win, which he would have done. But apparently Hippowdon is a speedy hippo and outspeeds the Aegislash and kills it. And I was like, well, fuck me sideways, Hippowdon, that's incredible. Maybe he didn't have like a max speed IV or something, or he was running Brave, I don't know, that's fucking weird, but I suppose he could be, but even then, that means you're missing out on King Shield, and that's not worth missing out on. Anyway, I kind of don't want Hippo to die because it kind of bones the Bisharp, so I go into Swanna. Unfortunately, Ice Beam kicks the crap out of me, and I kind of just have to stay in because he can go Ice Beam again and kill me, so yeah. I go Scald. It does dick all, actually. I was really disappointed in that. I know, Clefable, bulky fucker, but Swanna could have done a little bit better there. I suppose I probably should have tried for a Hurricane, but Sand Up, not really wanted to try that. Anyway, I'm gonna go into Trev. I figured, vaguely, I should live one attack. And thankfully, Trev, being the cool dude bro he is, tanks it. I get my Leechy, I get a Trick Room, I get another Leechy, and suddenly Trev is looking like a beast. He's now +2, he's the fastest thing for miles around. Fuck off, Clefable. I was kind of hoping he'd stay in to get a safe switch into his Bisharp, but instead he's just going to go sack his Clawitzer. Makes sense, clever play. Although with my Swanna dead, I'm struggling to think of anything that wanted to take on his Clawitzer. So, yeah, it was kind of all up to Trev, but he made the right play. But still, I get another Leechy Berry, and now he's going to go into the Bisharp. Now this is like play of the thing. If I'd have gone Scald here, I'd have been a damn sight better off. Of course the Sucker Punch was blissfully obvious, so I'm just going to go for a sub. I have the HP for it, thanks to the Horn Leech. So I can set that up. Now I'm at +4. Trev is looking like a bloody monster. You don't want to fuck with Trev right now. +4. Fastest fucking thing here. Gonna go for that Horn Leech. Actually doesn't do a massive amount, but it does a nice chunk. You know, had I had like Brick Break or something, I would have been a bit better off, but you know, you kind of make do. But he's gonna go for a payback. I suppose he doesn't have knockoff, don't blame him, it's a bastard to get. But I lose my sub. Now here, 99.99% of players will go for another payback, because if I go sub on his Sucker Punch, he loses. That's it, it's done. I go Horn Leech, he's dead, unless he's got a sick with priority, which I don't remember he might well have done. He's fucked. That's it. But instead, the ballsy bastard goes Sucker Punch, and from there, I'm kind of boned. There was no way that I was going to pull that one out of my arse. I could have, maybe, but it's... the Clefable was the sticking point, because it outsped all of my guys, and Hippo ain't nomming that shit. Hippo ain't nomming it. Hippo would need to tank a hit, get a crit, and then maybe I'd pull something out. But nothing doing, unfortunately. So, that Sucker Punch was the play of the game, but that's the other thing about passerby battles. It's like, do you predict up or do you predict down? Did he actually predict me to attack predicting the payback, or did he go Sucker Punch because it was the play that, you know, like, he hasn't got a sub I can sucker punch now. So it was either incredibly stupid or incredibly brilliant, but either way it fucked me. He's gonna go flamethrower on his Clefable. Hippowdon doesn't take that at all, and just to rub salt into my open gaping wounds, he gets a shitty burn. So, poor Santomb Hippo got the D in this one. I was a bit sad for the Hippo. He did not have a fun old time of it. He fucking owned that Bisharp though. Hippo laughed at that Bisharp. And again, the Aegis Slash, I'd still like to know how Hippo outsped it. Anyway, here's the other scenario where had I gone Drain Punch on the Clawitzer instead of going Power Up Punch, I might have just barely eked out some kind of kill here. I go Ice Punch, I am fishing for freezes, I don't have Poison Jab, maybe I should. But he has to go Flamethrower, he does 36 points. Now, had I Drain Punched and gotten more of my health back, I'd probably be around 100, so I could have fit in a lot more hits. But unfortunately, Min-Max not helping me out, and so Scrafty dies, Pharaoh's last, he dies, I lose, rough going. But, I know, it was just that Sucker Punch, and again, a couple of tiny little plays, like, if I'd have Scalded or Fire Blasted on the Bisharp, then Hornleech would have just killed it, therefore completely bypassing the Sucker Punch. And had I gone Drain Punch instead of going Power Up Punch like a fucking nonce, I mean, whatever, I don't know, maybe I thought it was a Scarf Clawitzer or something. The Scald was weird enough as is for me. I kind of automatically assume you want Water Pulse because you want the power. But, I don't know. I don't know what these crazy kids run. So, I don't know, a couple of misplays from me, and like I say, one either amazingly brilliant play, or very stupid, just kind of paid off and got him the win. So, but I don't know, I'm not going to say it was a bad play because it wasn't, it fucking won him the game, but it really, had I gone sub there, he loses, that's it, it's done, there's nothing doing. In fact, what was his last? It was Darmanitan, with Trick Room up, I win. Basically. Well, and with a Hippowdon there as well, I win, basically. His only other thing that might well have happened, because, I actually think, it kind of depends how I played it against the Bisharp, because Trick Room did run out when I died, so that implies there was, I was on my last turn. So, if I'd have subbed there, gone Trick Room, it's a 50-50 split. I might still have lost depending on what his Darmanitan did, but I don't know. You can kind of square it whichever way you want. It might well have not mattered, but I could have made it a little bit better for myself. Anyway, we'll go on to this battle, and what do you know? I saw that and was like, fucking Beedrill, really? Jesus Christ. That's topical! And a low punny as well. Didn't quite get that one, but nifty all the same. Anyway, this was quite an odd one. I will give you that. I actually was going to have a battle against a dude who had a Kyogre, but he DC'd as soon as we started. I don't even know why you bothered starting it up, mate. Don't get me hopes up like that. Anyway, Mesprit for out against Swanna. Some kind of T-Bolt seems obvious to me. I can go into Scrafty and probably tank it up like a beast. Scrafty is pretty good like that. But he's going to go T-Wave. Now, this has got to be the oddest Mesprit I think I've ever seen. Like I say, this guy's obviously gone to decent lengths to get a Mesprit. I don't think you can get one in 5th gen. But, he's going to make the solid play, going to Ape, Omni Crunch. Yeah, he's already T-Wave my Scrafty, so that's not too great. But, like I say, Scrafty's at max health, and he's a fat bastard anyway. He ain't going nowhere in a hurry. But, I'm going to go and Hippowdon, close combat, the most blissfully obvious thing in this blissfully obvious world. Could have been Focus Blast, either or. I don't think it really would have mattered. Hippo would probably take it okay. But, here, you see he's Life Orbed. Now, I have had a little bit of a thing with Mix Apes in the past, so I was like, better to just not chance it. Because if he goes for a Grass Knot or a Hidden Power Ice, then me Hippo is kind of dead weight. So I figured, fuck it, let's just leg it into the Ferroslag. He's not going to go for a Flare Blitz. He might pop an Overheat, that would also suck, but better to play it as safe as I can. Unfortunately, this fuckface has got a Trick Thunderwave Mesprit, and it gets better, as you will see. So he tricks me a scarf as I go stealth rocks, and I'm like, why? Shouldn't you go, trick first? I guess you didn't really want to trick the Swanner, but really? Okay, right, that's a thing that's just happened. Anyway, I'm gonna leg it out, because I'm fucking perplexed at this point. And then he's gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam. So, his last move, really, I'm assuming, is gonna be like Psy Shock or something. You know, because you get at least reasonable coverage with Psychic Fairy. So, that's kind of what I was thinking. Unfortunately, I'm fucking wrong. This bastard has got a Dazzling Gleam, Flash, Thunder Wave, Trick Scarf, Mesprit. And I was like, what? Why? What? Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. And like I say, I think I'm right in saying I might not be. Trick is tutor move only on Mesprit, isn't it? I could be wrong on that. You may have to tell me in the comments. But I think Trick is tutor only move. It's just like, surely Trick, Thunderwave, Swagger, and Foul Play seems a bit more, yeah, than Flash. Bit of a dick move. But anyway, he's flashing my Hippowdon, and my Hippowdon is so bewildered by this sudden flashing of the Mesprit. He can't hit a Toxic to save his life. This will repeat many a time. Believe me, Hippowdon does not have a good showing against the Mesprit. All that unnecessary flashing just confused and bewildered the poor Hippo. Anyway, he's got a Sniper Beedrill. I don't quite know what its item is. It may well be Scope Lens. I don't know, I was thinking of using the Focus Energy one. But still, this Bongo Beedrill just going for Bug Bites. I am max HP, max defense Pharaoh forward, so he didn't really have good odds to begin with. But Pharaoh just gonna casually flatten the Beedrill. Beedrill isn't the fastest thing, and Pharaoh's got a scarf on him, but Beedrill's got base 40 defense, so he was kind of fucked either way. And then in comes Mesprit again. I know it can't touch Pharaoh. In fact, it really can't touch anything on my fucking team. But I'm a bit stumped by it, if I'm honest. It's like, I need to go into Hippo and get a Toxic, and then with Sand, Toxic, I'm whittling him down. He's gonna die at some point. But like I say, Hippo, just so bloody... Hippo's been such a, a rock for me. Just a rock, a beast. A tanky dude, bro, who will sit there and just nom the world. But when a Mesprit starts flashing the goods, Sonny's like, what is this? So, yeah, Hippo just, he misses, like, I think it's something in the region of 7 or 8 Toxics. Because I kind of have to keep going for it because of the vague hope that I might land one at some point in the near future. But, yeah, Hippo just wasn't having any of it today. I mean, he did alright in the previous battle. He did okay. I was pleased. But in this one, he's just got nothing. I mean, this Mesprit can't touch him, but all this just lowering the accuracy means Hippo ain't got shit. So that was rough. That was the thing. But, after a few flashes, I'm fairly certain I just think bollocks to this and just leg it. Again, there are a number of things... Oh, no, wait, no, that comes up later. He is going to switch out because I'm like -4. Oh, wait, no, does it happen here? Yes, it does, yes. We both somehow coincidentally switch out at exactly the same time. I was quite bewildered as well. But he's going to go into a Kangaskhan as I go into Trev, because, like I say, I just wanted to fuck that Mesprit up. It was really annoying me. It's just like, really? You have no right to be doing anything here. But all of your accuracy dropping got on my nerve. So I'm just going to go into Trev, I'm going to set up in your face, and I'm going to kill you. But yeah, he's going to go for a Sucker Punch. I don't know why he megaed. I have dick all idea. That and Trevs usually run Wisp. It's like there was no reason to ever stay in with Kangaskhan unless you were going for a sub. But I go for a Trick Room. I want to go sub now. In comes Mesprit, and I get my revenge. Because I'm just going to beat the crap out of this Mesprit now, because it really deserved it. What a true bastard. So yeah. It ain't got nothing. Dazzling Gleam doesn't break my sub. And after this, he just rage quits. He had nothing for the Trev, apparently. I'm assuming, like I say, his Kangaskhan was just Sucker Punch and nothing else. So, again, it really does beg the question. A, why did you bother staying in to begin with to get Wisp, potentially? And 2, why did you bother megaing up when Kangaskhan with Scrappy hits Trev? I mean, I might have barely been able to win that fight, depending on when he megaed, how many boosts I got, that kind of shtick. But really, there was no reason to mega there. He did still have an ape. He could have played it, interestingly, Lilligant, again, depending on what kind of Lilligant it was. Some of them carry, like, I think it gets Sludge Bomb. Actually, no, it probably doesn't. But Hidden Power Fire, you know, there were things there. Kangaskhan does hit 2 times with the Sucker Punch. So yeah, there are a lot of things that he could have done depending on how I played it, but he wasn't in the mood for it, so he just gave up. So yeah, basically, I suppose the MVP was Trev, really. I mean, he probably really definitely should have won the first battle, but now that I do think about it, the Trick Room running out would have really thrown a spanner into the works. So, there is that. Yeah, I don't know, it kind of depends how much HP I nabbed from Bisharp and min-max and horrible things, or if I'd have managed to be able to set up a Trick Room again. Also a thing. The only thing I can think of is that if I did sub down on his Sucker Punch, God knows why he went Sucker Punch, but he did. If I'd go for a Trick Room, he'd go for a Payback. I don't have enough HP to sub, so I would have had to play even more weird games with him. It would have been a fucking nightmare, basically. So, the odds were low, but if I'd managed to get that Trick Room, you know, in and sub up, then I was good as gold. But that's an awful lot of ifs, so I don't know. But like I say, there are a couple of things in there. Like, had I gotten a scored on the Bisharp, then suddenly I think a +4 Horn Leech might have killed it if I'd have gotten a scored. The Slowbro was max special attack, so maybe. And yeah, had I gone Drain Punch with the Scrafty. So a couple of little things, little jittery plays, didn't really work out. But fuck it, we had a grand old time. We got to see the Mighty Hippo again, just bemused as a Mesprit, you know, bears it all, and he's just perplexed, poor Hippo. He wasn't expecting it, he wasn't ready, and now he's probably a bit scarred, because he just couldn't hit a fucking Toxic at all. I thought Scrafty did a lot better. The main reason I didn't bring it into the Fable, obviously because it's Fairy, but I just really thought it would have Moonblast, and like I say, it ended up having, what was it, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Thunderbolt. If it had dropped one of those for Moonblast, I might have done better. I can't quite figure out what it would have to drop, probably Flamethrower. But had it dropped one of them, I might have been able to make it out in a bit better shape against it, but just because it had that, you know, amazing coverage, good life orb damage, you know, there was nothing to do there. But I felt Scrafty at least had a slightly better showing than just, like, you know, getting dumped on by a Dragonite, for example. You piece of shit. Swanna didn't really do much. I was kind of hoping it would at least be a nice defogger, but I don't know. I suppose you kind of really need a Pelipper for that. I was really desperately thinking about bringing you, buddy, but yeah, it's sort of like I've used him so much and I love him so much that I think it's probably time to give him a rest, so that when I bring him back for when he's a Mega, it's gonna be like, oh, it's so cool. So I think your Jolly Green Ment's gonna take a little bit of a timeout, unless I bring him back in the next video. We'll see how we go. I do love me some Jolly Green Ments because it's fucking cool. Was also thinking about bringing Donphan. He had a good showing. Donphan might have done well there. You know, maybe Donphan for the Hippo. I don't quite know how I would have done that. But yeah, so that's kind of it. You know, had a bit of a lark. Good to see Trev doing well. Like I say, Trev was pretty much MVP, and if I wasn't a bit of a, you know, a Dilbert, and if the other person wasn't such a pansy, that's a Trev sweep right there through and through. So, what are you gonna do, eh? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Post-narrated battling. Isn't that weird? See you guys in a bit. Peace.